Catherine, we're just finishing up on our initial 3-month program for your peripheral neuropathy, and you have what's known as a very rare cause of your neuropathy, and that is called Guillain-Barré syndrome. Would you tell us a little bit about how that came about and what you felt, and lead us up to that, and what was it like?
I had an operation to investigate a little dark spot on my lung, and it was found that the biopsy proved to be benign.
Mm-hmm.
I then waited at the recovery room and moved to a room next to a lady who had very violent, severe pneumonia.
Yeah.
And she was there next to me for 3 days, 4 days, something like that. Presumably, I mean, this is me guessing,
Mm-hmm.
breathing in all those germs that she was having to be rolled over three times a day and all.
Yeah.
And I then went home. I was released, feeling very much better. And a friend came to visit, and we went off on a holiday to Lynchburg. During that journey, I started to feel very weak and wobbly and tired, very tired.
Yeah.
And I said, I think we better cancel a lot of our other expeditions and go straight home. And that night, I went down, 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 to the extent that I asked her to summon an ambulance. Off we went to the hospital, to the ER, and they suggested that I might be dehydrated. I'm slowly feeling myself become paralyzed. And I lost my ability to speak, and slowly but surely I was having a lot of trouble breathing. And I absolutely couldn't speak. I couldn't even mouth words. I could see all right, and I could hear.
Wow.
My family started arriving. Meanwhile, I had to be intubated, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
A million tests were run, but they could not figure out what the problem was. They kept saying she's just very fatigued. That's why she can't move or talk or breathe. And the
Wow.
ER, she said, no.
That's an extreme case of fatigue there.
Yes, I'll say. And the nurse said to them, no, she's paralyzed. She's properly paralyzed. Meanwhile, I also had terrible problems with my feet and tingling, nervous stuff. And the end of my nose, for some reason, became very tingly as well. It was a horrible feeling.
But it's at some point, somebody figured out Guillain-Barré syndrome, probably related to breathing in the pneumonia, bugs from the patient next, and you are already immune suppressed because of the surgery.
Yeah.
So after suffering with this, what was it like when you first came in here? You probably saw an ad somewhere, and you're like, let me call this guy up and see if he can help me.
I went to one of your wonderful lunch
parties.
Yeah. Yes.
What was it like when you first came in? What were the feet, the hands, your balance? What was all that like when you first came in to see me?
The balance was bad, and the pins and needles and sort of electrical feelings in my feet.
Right.
My hands got better very much more than my feet did. Were really getting bad. So that nighttime, some nights were okay, and other nights, no sleep at all because of this.
It wakes you up.
Around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you had like restless leg syndrome where the legs are bouncing all over the place. Yeah. How long were you suffering with this Guillain-Barré induced peripheral neuropathy?
Oh, years.
Years.
This happened quite a long time ago. It was at least 8 or 7 years ago.
So 7, 8 years ago, and I'm assuming that it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yes, that's
right?
absolutely
So the last
true.
couple of years it's been really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Saw the ad, came in, you said, I'm going to go ahead and do that neuropathy program, and here we are.
Yes.
How are you feeling? What differences do you feel now compared to 3 months ago?
Oh, enormous amount of difference. The tingling feet problem just doesn't happen. The balance is better. I used to fall down a lot, which wasn't doing me any good. And then since I've been coming here, I think I've had one incidental fall, and it was nothing.
So you said in the other room, we asked you, what percent improvement, if you had to put a percent on there, what percent improvement did you state you felt?
Well, I certainly stated that as far as the tingling in the feet
Yes.
and so forth, that was 100% really.
Excellent.
90, 100%.
90 to
something like
100. Good. And
Yeah.
you're sleeping better now?
that. Oh, yes.
Good.
Very much.
All right. Well, we talked about it as we pull up the research on Guillain-Barré. It's considered to be very rare. So a lot of folks who are watching this right now probably never heard of this thing called Guillain-Barré. There's 20,000 Americans that are diagnosed with it every year, and it's a horrible, horrible, horrible affliction. It's very, very bad, and Western medicine has really nothing for it. There's nothing you can do for tingling or numbness or balance issues. They got drugs for pain, but there's really nothing for it. But for somebody who has Guillain-Barré, or maybe for somebody who doesn't even have it, don't even know what this thing is, they have neuropathy.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for that person that may be watching and thinking about doing a program or consulting with me? They're like, oh, I don't really know. Maybe they're skeptical because their doctor said you can do nothing about this. What advice would you have?
Well, I would seek help from someone who had done the research on it and had marginally to great results with sufferers.
Yeah.
It's a toughie. And I've tried a lot of different things, and I don't think any of them has helped as much as this program has. This is a whole different and more interesting approach, I guess I'd have to say, and I do think it's working.
Excellent.
If I can just
Good.
I keep it going, you know.
Well, I want to thank you for your time, and also thanks for being a great patient too. You played full out. I know you really gave it your very best, and the results show, and that's pretty incredible.
That's very kind of you to say. I mean, I'm not the perfect patient by any means.
Hey, 90% improvement on a condition where there's nothing that can be done, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I think you've done pretty good.
Oh, that's true. I do too. I mean, remember, I'm the one who's lifted that terrible, boring situation. It was thanks to this program.
Perfect. Thank you so